of me teaching my 7th grade science students at Hamilton Middle School. So today we started off our lesson with talking about some hashtag top tweets that they made from another lesson earlier in our unit. Last Friday we had some centers, and one of those was they needed to summarize potential and kinetic energy in 140 characters or less. So they submitted those through their journals, and then I looked through all 210 journals to find some of the best. And I gave them awards based on if I thought they were the best out of the class. And it will continue on from there later. And then after that, we did our 3-minute lecture, which is something that we do in this class in order to answer some of their really great questions. So they submit questions about energy or waves or sound into some boxes that we have up front for each hour. And then I research them and give them an answer at the beginning of class every day. So right now we're working on some things about how sound and energy relate, and that's what the topic was. And then after that, we're going to continue our jigsaw day that we started on Tuesday. We've had kind of a mashed up week with 2 half days and then another half day, but we're finishing the jigsaw from Tuesday by having them get back into their group again and really going through all of the content that they were supposed to have covered. So most of them have their groups all situated. We have some absences and some people missing or that were absent, so I'm trying to fit those in as best as possible. Most of the groups will be 4 people, some of them will be 5. And then after that, once they're finished with that, I'll announce that they have a quiz coming on Monday, which is right behind my head. So I hope you enjoy my videotape of me teaching a lesson to my 7th graders. It'll be hard. You guys, 4 hours of standardized testing in the morning, that's a lot for you guys to handle. And I understand that. That's a lot of sitting still. So you'll be in your groups. You can talk as long as you make sure that the talk is focused on the science, because you're going to need the science. To start with, I'm going to have you guys join me in the front half of the class. Kind of smatter yourselves a little. My scarf is not are the last ones of the day to go through our top tweets. So you may have heard about it from some of your other friends, but I went through those journals that you guys had from Friday when we did like the hashtag lab and I had you guys make tweets. What did I have you guys cover in those tweets? What was something that you had to focus on? Yes. Potential energy. What else did you have to focus on? Kinetic energy, right. You have to focus on the similarities and the differences of potential and kinetic energy, and then summarize it in 140 characters or less, just like a regular tweet. So I picked out some of my favorites, and I called them hashtag top tweets, because I thought it worked pretty well. Here are the 7th hour. Here are the 7th hour honorable mentions. Maddie Pate wins our first honorable mention with there are many, guys, the chatter. Thanks. There are many energy types such as kinetic, potential, mechanical, heat, chemical, electrical, and gravitational. Hamilton 7 Science. I love that one. It didn't necessarily just talk about kinetic and potential, but if you look at it, you get a quick list of all the different types of energy that we've talked about. The next one, 2 people had the same, and possibly 3 people. I saw it a couple of times. So, where do we have Alejandro Hans? 3-minute lecture topic comes to us today from Natalie Alvarez, and my mic is so... Comes to us from Natalie Alvarez from 4th hour. And her question was, what do sounds and energy have to do with each other? This is like the main idea of what we're doing in this entire unit. what we're doing this entire unit. We talked about energy for a couple of days. We're focusing on sound a little bit more as the time progresses because our final project has to do with sound, right? So we've got sound, we've got energy. How do they relate to one another? And in order to talk about it, I have this old school video to show you. It's got some smooth jazz. Pay attention to the second line that the guy says, okay? So I'm going to ask you about it in a little bit.
Someone get that?
Of course, sound waves aren't sounds. They're just compression waves in a medium. You're not aware of them as sound until your ears receive them. The compression waves are passed on as vibrations through the delicate inner parts of your ears. These are eventually converted to electrical signals and transmitted by the branches of the auditory nerve to your brain. And it's only in your brain that these signals are interpreted as sounds. When you hear sounds, you hear many differences that help you tell one sound from another. Some sounds have higher pitches than other sounds do. Sounds also differ in loudness. But the sound waves themselves don't have loudness or pitch. What sound waves do have is frequency and amplitude. Let's see what that means in terms of a single molecule of air. And let's add the ink and the moving sheet of paper as before. Now, with our sound back and the paper moving, we get our sine wave again. If we put in an axis, we can make some definitions. The movement of our molecule from the axis to as far above the axis as it goes, to as far below the axis as it goes, and then back to the axis represents one vibration or cycle. So this is one cycle. The frequency of a sound wave is a measure of how many cycles per second the sound wave produces in the medium it's traveling through. When the frequency of a sound wave goes up, more waves per second strike our ears, and we hear a higher pitched sound. When the frequency goes down, we hear a lower pitch.
All right, yeah, so when we talked about those dog whistles, and when we talked about the chipmunk voices, we were talking about the frequency of the sound waves, right? So did anybody catch that second or third line from the beginning? What is sound? Something compression medium, we've got parts of it, yeah?
Compression waves.
Compression waves, and then I'm going to group you guys together. Compression waves in a medium. Whoa, what does that mean? Compression waves in a medium. It means that that energy is being converted into compressed air as it goes, and then it hits our eardrums, right? So is it sound if it doesn't hit our eardrums? No, why not, Jerry? Because it's not making any noise, right? Unless it actually hits our ears. This brings us to the all-important philosophical question. If a tree falls in the forest, and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yes.
It does make a sound?
How do you know? Because it was on the Geico commercial.
Because it was on the Geico commercial. Yeah. Okay. But realistically, scientifically, I'm sure Geico makes some very interesting points. But does it make a sound? No. Why not? Why not, Natalie?
Because no one is right here, and if it doesn't hit our eardrums, then it's not making any noise.
Right. If it doesn't hit any eardrums, guys in the back, I need your attention, please. Thank you. So, if it doesn't hit our eardrums, it's not technically making sound. Do you have a rebuttal?
Well, like, someone plays a recorder.
Yeah? Oh. Oh yeah, no one's around here. So, right, so no one's around. Energy. All right, guys, time out. So energy travels in the waves, and we perceive them, and that's what makes it sound. So if it goes in my ears and I perceive the sound waves, that's what makes it actually sound. Light, when it travels as a wave, hits my eyes, and then goes through. So we're done with our 3D lecture for today. We're going to move on. Jigsaws. Think back with me. Think back with me to Tuesday and the chaos that was Tuesday. It was great, but it was really chaotic. We got into our groups. We have topics. So today we're going to actually jigsaw ourselves, and we're going to talk stuff through. You'll have a sharing checklist, which is over on this green table. One group, well, each group needs one. So one per group. They're right over here, right next to our Sound Solutions bar. Each group needs one of those to remind you what you need to do. Each group needs one to remind you what to do. Here's an order of sharing. Guys, we're so close. I know that standardized test kind of fried your brains this morning, but we're really close to the end, okay? A little bit more focus. Great. We have waves in general, waters and tsunami, light waves and seismic waves. Okay? That's the order. You're going to present to your group. You're going to present to your group. So if I'm the one talking, I actually say the things that are on my paper. And then my group members are going to write them down. Okay? Yep. So do you kind of know what each of those do? Or is it kind of a question mark? By
Yes,
the way?
I do, yes.
Like, I don't know what
Longitudinal. Okay. All right. We'll be talking about that a little bit on Monday. Okay. Get into it. Got some cool animations to show you. Okay. All right. So just give them what you can, and then we'll fill in the gaps. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
A medium is a substance or material.
Yeah, we didn't write.
Okay. You can
Me
find
and
anything.
Natalie's are the same.
Great. Yeah. Because you guys have a group of 5. I asked her to join another group because we had some lonely members.
So what do we do? Just like say, because ours is the same thing. So would you just say the same thing?
Yeah, so you're going to tag team. You don't need to do water waves twice. Just kind of work together and present as a group. And then for the dig it column, when you finish, because we're going to finish with some time left in the class, I'm going to have you guys work as a group to find out some interesting things for those dig it columns. Okay? Sound good? Great. Any other questions before I... That's awesome. I can make a copy of that before you guys leave. So you guys can work on that way. Did the test go okay for you this morning? Was that alright? Yeah. Yeah, it didn't bother me too much. And then are you left-handed? Did you have to do the highlighting? I don't remember highlighting. Oh yeah, the bubbling. Alright, well do you guys have any more questions before I move on? Okay, make sure to catch me before I leave.